Joe Britson.
To try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Oh, goes the win! Francis Ngannou!
This is just a fist. When I start throwing it around, I can leave one hell of a mess. Let's dance.
Multiple occasions. Wow, it looks like they're going to swing to the very end.
And he wasn't kidding.
Wow!
It's very rare.
What a finish! Another one.
It really poses the question, what do you want to do? Do you want to take a chance and risk getting knocked out? Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Trying to take care of business, trying to get to
It's a knockout!
Oh my
It's a knockout!
And it's closing in, trying to finish it, and it's over!
Because I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to whop you on that side of your face. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Buck is brought to you by Modelo.
I killed it!
Punch me right in the face, man.
And we have a new nickname. Okay, we have William Send It 7 Piercing. All right, other than that, we used to call him Willie Pete. We used to call him the Mad Russian.
For his opponent to be quicker on the tangent.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby.
I think you've had enough. Noah? Now you've had enough. Bitch.
Wow, how good is this?
Finish him!
Another one.
Everybody gets triggered. It's just that you become a pansy. That's in the Book of Earl.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it.
Gotta be very careful.
What's up, trash talkers? What's going on, Gruntworks Nation, and everybody watching in Dave's fucking fantasy world with all his conspiracies on? Who really knows? But hey, we're here live Friday night for your UFC pick'em, and we're only 1 week away from getting the Big Earl's NFL locks. But we'll just get that one out of the way. Kansas City by a lot, Joe, by a motherfucking lot on Thursday. All right, got that? Write it down.
Lions over 10 wins. The bet's already in. Yeah, I put it in.
I don't know. But all right, hey. So we had a pretty good week last week. Pretty good week the week before with some picks. Yeah, basically made a little bit of cash. But hey, with us as always, we got the champ. Now these rules are going to change, but until I get off my ass and actually do it, we got the champ is still built. All right.
I do like the new rules coming in though.
Yeah, we gotta. We'll talk about that at the end of the show if I don't get too drunk and I can remember. Did I talk about it last time? I don't even know.
You didn't.
Okay, well we'll talk about it if I can remember. And then we got VTT's Trigger Joe Britson, and we got VTT's DrunkenCyborg and Stacks. All right, who has good news and she's returning to the front line. All right, with a little bit of light duty, so we have to hurry up so she can go to sleep. Anyway, yes, I think she's like a. What are you like a parking meter agent? I forget what that was. No.
God
Boots cars.
damn it.
You're the one that puts the boots on the cars.
I saw the show on A&E.
I'm not even that one.
All right, so what do you guys got going on? What's new?
I'm ready for Dana White to stop his UFC World Tour and come back to America so we can stop patronizing these European crowds. Just me.
Fact.
Bill was going to say something.
Obviously, it'll probably be in the news later, so I'll leave my personal life out of this one. But hey, my favorite athlete is running a race right now. For all you people who are bored tonight and into the morning, you can follow UTMB Ultra Trail Mont Blanc. Courtney Dauwalter, if she wins this 100-mile race, she'll be the first ever to win the trifecta and win 3 of the top 100 milers in one season. So, if you get bored, Courtney Dauwalter, she's an absolute animal.
Isn't it incredible? It's incredible that such a difficult feat is so undercovered, and you got to find out about it from people who know, because that's insane.
Well, it's jogging. Apparently, it's running a long distance.
Yeah, so
I believe it's jogging, Nick. It's a soft J.
So to enlighten everyone, so the top 3 races are the Western States 100, the Hard Rock 100, then the UTMB is kind of like the Super Bowl. Courtney's won the Western States. She set the course record at the Hard Rock, so now she owns the course record clockwise and counterclockwise. And if she wins the UTMB, she'll be the first to win all 3 in one season. And the time to beat is her course record at the UTMB. So she's just an absolute stud. She's the same one that won the Moab 240 miler. She beat men and women by 10 hours. They said at mile 210, she was still running a 6:30 minute pace.
What in the?
Yeah, she's an alien. All right, we're gonna go with aliens.
That reminds me of the Goggins story.
Just returning to light duty, like you said. Finally getting back into actually doing something with my life. So.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, congrats on that. All right, well, let's get right after it. Again, for those of you watching for the first time, not many of you watch right now. So it is political season. So when it is political time, we are shoved to the bottom of the algorithm. So please share and like what we got going on. Facebook will not play anybody that they think is remotely conservative, even though this channel does nothing about that. But we are a veteran group, so here you have it. Okay, well, we go over these picks. Everybody pay attention.
Right? Nick, before you go into the picks, because we got football coming up, how long do you think it's going to take, since you're talking politics, before some dumbass in our comments says, I don't watch football because of Kaepernick, which was a fucking decade ago?
Yeah, there's still some people that don't even realize what's happened in the last 10 years because they're
like, hey, listen, pal, Kaepernick's relatives don't watch football because of Kaepernick. What's your point?
Yeah.
We talk about wins and losses here.
Yeah, we're talking about gambling. All right. People who know me, I'll pretty much gamble on anything. Hey, what's the line on this JV soccer game that I got going on over here?
Hey, listen, the backup quarterback for Arizona State saved me with his rushing yards in the second quarter the other night.
Ooh, there you go. But hey, pay attention to what they say, but do not pay attention to what I say. All right. You can if you want to laugh, but I don't pay attention to this shit. All right. Sometimes I'm watching and I'm like, Bill, did we win money? And he just says yes or no. Like, I don't even know. I pick fighters based on their name, their jawline, and that's about it. Sometimes their country of origin. And in this case, I'm going to have to make a Frago because of the gym that they work out in. But stick around till the end because that's when they'll give you their locks, their DraftKings sleeper, and their parlays. And that's a very important part. So stick around all the way to the end. And if you're bored during this show, go to that little QR code up there in the corner, and then put in the code VTTGW. All right, I got the white version, and Joe's rocking the black and gold version of the baseball tee. Bill's got
varsity, baby.
Yeah, there you go. And Stacks has something on. So
he never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Yeah, nice. And by the way, Stacks, Dave was turned every shirt into a female shirt and tank top. So he says you have to buy all of them.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
So there you have it. All right, let's get right into it. All right. We got this Morgan Cherry guy versus Manold Zucchini. All right, it's a featherweight fight. 18-9-1. Morgan's coming in at. Zucchini's coming in 11-3. Now, I was gonna pick this fight based off of a fruit versus a vegetable, right? And so like everybody knows vegetables are better for you than fruit. Fruits never win. However, this zucchini's coming from Jackson Wink. All right, we don't like Jackson Wink. Jackson Wink go.
Why, Ike? Whatever do you mean?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Cherry. Okay, he's just gonna win. I had a much funnier pick for Zucchini, but it got changed. We got Fragoed. So let's start with the champ, Bill. What say you in this fight?
I hate these fights. Both these guys suck. It's both their debut in the UFC, and they're both little. Yeah, this fight's horrible. So I'm going with Charrier. He's a heavy. I think the last I checked was he's a minus 375. I kind of disagree with that. However, since neither one of them has fought in the UFC, nobody knows shit about these guys. Yeah, they've gotten some finishes and some decisions in their last few fights. But that's also in these Cage Warriors and these other no-name bullshit leagues across Europe. So I went a little bit more philosophical on this one. I'm picking Charrier because it's the first fight of the main card, and it's a Frenchman in Paris. So Dana White wanted to feed a Frenchman an easy win. He thinks he's going to win. So I got Morgan Charrier. I actually like the over on this one. Both these guys have early finishes in last few fights, but they're against nobodies. I think these light guys are going to be nervous, little gaskets. It's their first fight in the UFC on a big stage. It's a pay-per-view. So I like the over on this one. It'll be over probably, 2.5. So take the over on this one. Money line, Charrier.
Very nice, very nice. And let's go to DrunkenCyborg. What say you on this fight?
Where I don't know very much about either one of them. I just kind of went with their stats on this one, and honestly, I think I'm going to go with Zucchini on this. Just I understand there's a minus 350. I think I saw it last on Charrier, but I don't know. I liked his stats better. I liked the way he was finishing fights better. So I understand that they're trying to give the Frenchman his win. I just think with them both being nervous and one of them has a propensity to finish more than the other one, I'm going to go with Zucchini. I'm definitely going over.
All right. So you're saying Zucchini by decision for the major upset. All right. I like it. All right. Let's go to Trigger Joe.
Yeah. I looked this guy up because I thought, how is he a plus 275 dog at 11-3? It's got to be something about his competition he's fighting. So the last knockout win he's got is against a guy who's 1-5. 1-5. 3 fights ago, he lost to a guy who is 1-0. He's only fought Zucchini, and he won. So there's a level of competition to these guys that are making their UFC debut, and I just don't think this dude has fought the similar competition that Charrier has. And there's dudes that are going to go out there and light the crowd up. They're not guys that are 18-7 at featherweight coming in. You know, this Charrier guy, he's got a lot of decision victories. He's got a lot of fights that have gone the distance. I think he kind of outclasses Zucchini. He's just a step closer to getting his shots off and wins a decision here. But yeah, Zucchini's 11-3, but there's a guy that's beat him that's only had one fight in his life, and it was against him. And the last knockout he had was against a guy who was 1-5. And he trains out of Jackson Wink, so chances are he's going to lose 9 times out of 10. Since once Johnny Bones Jones left that gym and Holly Holm turned 40, they really don't have anything to hang their hat on in the UFC. Cub Swanson's 63 years old. Like it's time for Jackson Wink to stop showing up at the UFC events unless they get some new young talent. I don't really believe this guy's it. I think Charrier gets a decision win in front of his home crowd, and that's that on that one.
Going with the Frenchman. All right, let's go to the next fight, and it's another featherweight fight, another one with these little tiny people on it. And you got.
I bet a Frenchman wins this one.
All right, you got Gomez at 12-2 versus Gamori. All right, 12-1. Jamori.
Good enough.
Jimawaha.
Good enough till he wins a couple of fights that matter.
How about we go with Gamora? So I'm going to go with Giannis by salt pillar strike in the second round. Okay, so those of you who haven't been studying your scripture, all right, you'll look back at Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, you turn into a pillar of salt. Okay, that's exactly what's going to happen in this fight. Put it down in Vegas. Pillar of salt strike, probably paying plus 10 trillion. All right, figure it out. Let's stay with Trigger Joe. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, this is the old switcheroo fight. I can't remember exactly how the breakdown was supposed to go, but Gomez was supposed to fight someone else. Gamorre was supposed to fight Kalen Logren, who is now on the undercard fighting someone else who was supposed to fight someone else and dropped out. So this is a last-minute replacement where they both had a full camp expecting to fight someone else on the same night. So I believe Gomez has the better competition under his belt. He's won his last 2 UFC fights. They were absolutely dreadful to watch. In 30 minutes of UFC action, he averaged 1.1 strikes per minute landed, and these are featherweights. Featherweights? Featherweights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody even knows what that means.
Yeah, Max
They should be just
Holloway's
throwing punches and punches.
Max Holloway's featherweight record is I can't remember. I think it's in the 400 thrown to high 200 landed. Okay, so as featherweights, you're supposed to be lightning fast, punches and bunches, and haven't seen it from either one of these guys. Don't know much about Gamorre. I just know that his competition level is low. Anytime a guy's making his UFC debut, I look up who he's been winning his fights against, and he's got a lot of victories against guys who are 0-1. He's got a victory on there against the guy who's 0-7. So you got to be careful just taking that 12-1 and taking that to the bank, because you don't know who he's fighting against until they get in the UFC. Gomez has fought UFC competition and won twice, even though they were both one was a majority decision, one was a split decision. But win is a win against high competition. Done it on the big stage. Frenchman from fighting in Paris. So I'll take Gomez by decision, and the night getting started off with 2 boring featherweight non-finish fights. So Gomez decision. Final answer, lock it in.
Lock it in. All right, Bill, the champ. What say you?
Not a lock. Don't get that confused.
Hey, Joe, just because you had me curious, I looked it up. Max Holloway set the record for throwing 447 strikes and landing 141 significant strikes in round 4.
That was pretty good off the. That was pretty. I mean, right in per round.
Yeah.
He landed 100 strikes in one round.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, Max Holloway's an animal. I'm with Joe on this one. William Gomez. Listen, this is that. Well, it's going to be early in the morning, so it's not going to be the barbecue fight. But if you got shit to do it during this fight. It's going to be boring as shit. I think I might put this fight in my parlay, but when I do, it's going to be the over.
Yep.
I got William Gomez by decision. It might even be a split decision. I think this is going to be a boring as shit fight. These guys are just not good. Gomez fights boring fights. He's got 2 wins in the UFC. What, 2 or 3? One's a split decision. One's a majority decision. It's just going to be horrible. Again, if you got something to do, this is the fight to do it in. I think there's some really good fights on the rest of this card. This one,
start the grill fight. Start the grill.
Yeah, this one's going to be horrible. If you're going to do some early morning day drinking, this is the fight to start doing that in. But William Gomez money line. I'll probably throw it in a parlay, but it will be the over.
Very nice. Cyborg, what say you?
So I went with William Gomez as well on this, citing the fact that, like Joe said, he's actually fought UFC caliber fighters. May not have been great fights, but he has actually fought and won in the UFC, whereas this other guy's coming in fresh off of nothing, really. I was thinking this one was going to be boring as shit as well, which I usually like my lighter weight people because of how active they are. I just didn't see that happening here. So yeah, I went Gomez by decision on this one. And yeah, I'm going to stay asleep during this. That's what's going to happen.
All right, let's jump to the next one. And here we go. This is what I like. It's a light heavyweight fight. All right, we got some bruisers coming here, and check out those names. All right, Volkan, was that Ozdemir? All right,
Ozdemir.
Ozdemir versus Bogdan Gulkov. All right.
Otherwise known as Bizarro Anthony Smith.
Bizarro
Yes,
Anthony
for sure.
Smith. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. But these two guys, all right, you could tell they grew up like eating, porridge or some kind of hash brown. Like that's all they ever ate. But anybody named Vulcan only loses because he shows up drunk. That's what I heard.
Vulcan.
Yeah, Vulcan. All right. He showed up drunk to the octagon 7 times, and that's the only reason he lost. So he's going to show up sober this time. All right. And he's going to win by, I think he's going to knock Bogdan's jaw loose. All right. So it's going to happen. All right. Because rumor has it Bogdan ate his porridge. All right. The last time before a fight, and he didn't get to eat. So let's stay with stacks. You see Vulcan by jaw disalignment.
Hold on, I got to write that down because that's
serious
awesome.
Question. Yeah.
So there are quite a few that I went with the underdog on this. I believe this is one of them. I'm going to go with Guskov on this one. Both are really good strikers.
Wild card.
I've said it before. I love my grapplers, and I feel like the grappling is better on Guskov's side. So even if they stand and bang for a long while, round 1 and round 2, I think Guskov's going to get a takedown and potentially ground and pound. So I'm going to go round 2 KO.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, swinging to the right. Trigger Joe, what say you?
Okay, this is another look at the competition type deal. Okay. Guskov looks the part. He's 14-2, finished all 14 guys, but he has 3 knockout wins in a row over 3 guys with a total sum of 0 victories. Okay, he's never fought in the UFC. Volkan Ozdemir, on the other hand, went the distance with Nikita Krylov, who is no freaking joke against anybody in the world at light heavyweight right now in his last fight and lost. Then he beat Paul Craig, who Stacks is in love with.
Nobody with 2 first names can win a fight anyways. We already covered this.
Hey. It was one fight. You calm your tits.
Rocked Prohatz before Prohatz finished him. And then beat Alexander Rakic before that. Okay, so Volkan Ozdemir has fought the who's who, and he's done pretty decent. I know that everyone thinks he's going to get chinned in every fight because he's at 205 and he's got a pinhead, like he came out of the womb a little bit too soon. But I think Ozdemir is a gatekeeper at light heavyweight. You're not just going to get by him in your debut, make a fool of him and put him face down in the mat. I think he knows what to do to stay away from Guskov's big weapons, which is obviously his striking because he's got 12 knockouts. And I say Ozdemir keeps him, if Ankalaev couldn't finish him and Krylov couldn't finish him, then I don't believe this kid's gonna. So I got Ozdemir actually winning this fight via 3rd round TKO when Bizarro Anthony Smith gasses. Bill may disagree with me on this one. I wouldn't be surprised if he does on the finish type. But I just think Ozdemir is too much of a grizzled veteran, and he's taken a lot of punishment in a couple of his last 3 and stayed on his feet. I don't believe this kid gets him out of there, and for that reason, I think the kid gasses. Ozdemir takes advantage, and 3rd round TKO.
All right, before we get to Bill, the champ, there is the Drunken Monkey 1 watching on YouTube. So thank you for being one of the 2 people that watch us on YouTube. I don't know what you're saying. Does anybody know what LP period stands for? I'm going to go with, I'm going to say low sperm.
Lady parts?
Monkey. The lady parts, maybe? I don't know. But hey, you got us all guessing, Drunken Monkey. So good job. All right. The champ, Bill, what say you?
Joe is right. I do disagree on finish type. But we are in agreement on winner. Here's why. I was really worried about Guskov, to be honest with you. But if you look at all his fights, he's got 16 fights. He's been out of the first round only 4 times. And that's fighting dumpster trash. I mean,
And he's
He's
muscly.
finished a lot of people, but he hasn't fought anybody. But if you really dive into Ozdemir's losses, it's Nikita Krylov, Ankalaev, Yuri Prochazka, Dominic Reyes, Anthony Smith, and Daniel Cormier. None of those are bad losses.
And he was
and
drunk.
a lot of them are decision losses.
And the world class of the light heavyweight, other than John Jones. That's almost everybody he named.
And there's actually three world champions in there.
Yep. Prochazka, Cormier.
Now, do I think Bogdan is going to be a mainstay in this division? Yes, but I think he's going to need this ass whooping to show him where he needs to be for that next level. So I'm with Joe with a 3rd round loss. I actually think he's just going to get so gassed, he's going to give up a submission. So I got Ozdemir by submission in the 3rd round. I think Ozdemir's got a chin. Yeah, he's been finished before, but he's been finished by some of the best strikers in the biz. But he's also gone the distance with people like Ankalaev, and he's gone the distance with some heavy hitters. So I think Ozdemir's going to give him a lesson on what it takes to jump to the next level. Kind of like when these college football kids go to the NFL, like, oh shit, there's levels to this game, and I'm not there yet. I think again, Bogdan's going to be a mainstay in this division for sure, but I think he needs to fight someone like Ozdemir to learn how to fight into the later rounds, and Ozdemir's going to take him there. He's used to sleeping guys right off the bat. Ozdemir's not that guy. So I got Ozdemir by a 3rd round submission.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Before we get into the second half of fights, you see that little thing up there in the corner? It says 10th Mountain Whiskey and Spirits. All right. If you wonder how the Big Earl is so wise in the ways of science of fights, it's because of that. All right. So go there, put in the code VTT. All right. Get yourself a discount. And then again, we want to make this show even better. So go buy some clothes. All right. Go buy some shirts and stuff. Go up in that QR code and put in the code VTTGW. Get yourself a discount on shirts. Okay. Staying with the champ. But we got the lightweight fight coming up. Is that my reading? What these guys were like 110? Or these guys are heavy. Are they 170? What are they? You got
No, they're 150, 155.
Oh God. It's like the gymnasts again.
155.
Nobody wants to watch these guys. All right. St. Dennis 11-1. Versus Moises, 17-6, and this sounds like more like hockey players. All right, so I'm gonna go Benoit by slapshot strike. All right, 1st round. All right, slapshot strike to the face, game over. What say you, champ?
One thing you will like, Nick, is that Benoit Saint Denis is a paratrooper. So you got to give that to him. Hey, I like Benoit Saint Denis in this all day. I like Thiago Moises, but Saint Denis is just a fierce competitor, and he's got that paratrooper heart in him. So to me, that goes a long way. He's a combat veteran from Mali and somewhere in West Africa. He won some medals for valor. Saint Denis is no joke.
Yep.
I think this is going to go to a decision though. Both these guys had a lot of submission wins, and I think those will cancel each other out. St. Denis submitted a lot of guys. I think Thiago Moises is good enough to stay out of those submissions. I'm not sure about his chin, though. St. Denis also got them hands. So safe bet for the parlay is money line for sake of the show and points, even though Nick's changing up the point system, how we do this. I'm going to go with St. Denis by unanimous decision in this one. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. I think it's going to be a chess game on the ground. They're both really good. But I wouldn't be surprised if Benoit sleeps Thiago.
It'd be pretty boring to watch him play chess on the ground.
You're right. But for fight fans, they know what I mean. I got Benoit St. Denis by submission. By decision, but don't be surprised if Thiago gets slept on this one.
All right. Yeah, I got my older brother is becoming a fan of this show, and he says buy some shirts because the Big Earl assures me that proceeds don't go towards his parlays. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but we're gonna go with it. So, Sax, what say you?
All right, so on this one, I'm going with. I've been calling him SD. Ah, crap. Every time one of you comments in there, it like messes with my entire screen.
Stop blaming other people for your problems.
Okay, so I'm going with SD. I'm going to go with a round 2 submission. Both of them can grapple. Both of them can grapple really, really well. I think they start this off with a lot of striking, and then round 2, I'm going to go with SD getting God damn it.
Now the Lord's involved.
Fucking purpose.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he gets a takedown and then ends up finally getting a submission on Thiago. I'm sick of all of you guys' shit. But realistically, all I had to see is that he submitted Bonfim, and I was like, all right, well, he's going to be the winner, and I'm pretty positive he's getting a submission in this one as well if he can submit Bonfim. So that's where I'm at.
All right, very nice, very nice. Joe, what say you?
Yeah, I actually agree with Stacks on this one. I underestimated this dude. Something about his face, man, I just didn't see it in him. But I had to see him win and then hear about his paratrooper history for it all to like the tectonic shift in my brain. I was like, okay, I just had this guy wrong. That's it. I didn't like his face. He was French. I saw him in the weigh-ins. I love Thiago Moises' skill set. The guy's a really well-rounded fighter. He took Islam 4 rounds when Islam has finished almost everybody other than Volk, who's not human, even though Volk won that fight, in my opinion. But I underestimated Saint Denis Jiu-Jitsu. And just like Stack said, when he submitted Israel Bonfim, I thought, holy shit, because I had Bonfim in the fight. He looked a lot bigger than Moises. He averages a hell of a lot more takedowns. I think his wrestling's better. I think he's stronger. He's definitely taken less damage. And I got Saint Denis winning by 3rd round submission after Moises gasses.
Very nice, very nice. All right,
not a bad pick.
But I would not be surprised to see Moises last it out. So Bill could be right too.
Let's get to the co-main event. And we got a women's flyweight fight. And we got, what is that? Manon Fiorot?
Manon Fiorot.
Manon Fiorot. All right, versus Rose Nama Naga. Not gonna knock anybody's head off anymore. Is this the same Rose? Is this the same Rose that I picked to win by decapitation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, Rose by.
No, it's a different bald-headed Rose.
Is she bald? I can't even tell. So, I mean, has she fought since she knocked that person's head off? Because
yes, in a snooze fest.
She's fought the most boring fight in the history of UFC.
So she knocks out one of the best fighters in UFC, right, with a vicious head kick, and then just can't fight anymore. Will she get fat? So, all right, I'm gonna go Rose by armbar. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna do it. All right, Rose by armbar. Let's stay with Trigger Joe. What say you on this one?
I got a little bit of little trigger shy picking against Rose after what happened with Zhang Weili. Even though, like I said before the show, they could fight 10 times again, and I don't think Rose does that again to Zhang. Different fighter now. And another fighter at the weigh-ins who, Bill said looked sucked out in the official weigh-ins. At the ceremonials, she looked bigger and a little more muscular than Rose. I hate picking against Rose. I don't want to, but I just did not see that same dog in her in the Carla Esparza fight. Could she still have it in her to come out and do what she did against Joanna? Because against Zhang, it was an early night. She got out of there. It wasn't like that was a war. She landed an early knockout and it was over with. I don't know. And I honestly, I don't think so. I think against Strike, difference is Manon Ferro is not going to back down because it's Rose Namajunas. She's going to come out there, implement her game plan, and throw her strikes and get them off. And could Rose put the perfect striking and wrestling game together again? Yeah, she's got the ability to do it. I'm literally going with instinct here and thinking that Manon Ferro, first of all, she's older than Rose. So she doesn't have a choice but to win this fight if she wants to go and get a title shot. So I think she does that. I think she wins the decision. She just looks a little bit bigger, throws a lot more strikes, lands a lot more strikes. And Rose put me to sleep in her last fight. So I'm going to go with Manon Ferro by split decision. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple of people who disagree with me on this, maybe one or two.
All right, very nice. All right, the champ, what say you?
Like Joe, I absolutely hate picking this fight.
He's glad I picked this one first. I know
it. Joe mentioned it in his talk. I watched the official weigh-ins, and man, it looked like I could be wrong, but it looked like she had a really bad cut. She just looked real sunken in. She looked rough. But for me with Rose, yeah, that last fight is it's the worst fight I've ever watched in the UFC. Her and Carlos.
And this is a bump up for Rose. This is 125 too. So
yeah, she's moving up a weight class. That last fight.
Oh, she got fat.
Her and Carlos Esparza were the worst fight I've ever watched. And it's both their faults. I think Rose needed that. And with Rose, it's weird. When she shows up to fights and she's happy and this little smiling kid, that's when she's dangerous. Just like she was with Joanna. That's how she looked at this fight. I think she's more comfortable at this weight class. I got Rose winning this one. I think if you look at the stats are on the screen right now, the reach is the same, minus Rose actually has a little bit longer leg reach, and Mannon's going to come out and throw she's going to throw a shitload of side kicks. I think Rose is going to work that and get her on the ground and backpack her for this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to a decision. I'm going to go with Rose with a third-round submission. But damn it, Joe might have hit the nail on the head with this split decision bullshit. If Rose comes with the same fight she fought at Esparza, I'm going to be fucking pissed off because that fight was horrid. I don't know what happened in that thing. I don't know. Maybe she had jitters because she had lost to Esparza before. I got Rose finding herself again. I got a third-round submission, Rose Namajunas.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Cyborg, what say you?
Honestly, I think Rose is a great fighter when she shows up for it. I really do. However, not just her last one with Esparza, but even her last one with Wei Li, where the first 3 rounds, it took until the last 2 rounds for her to really get into gear and actually start fighting her fight. And I know she won that one. Technically, I don't see her being able to take on the extra power that she's not used to, especially with how she's been showing up as of late. So I'm going to go with Fiorot, I guess is how you say her name, by decision.
All right. Okay. Let's go to the main event. And here you got Cyril Gane, all right, at 11-2 versus Sergey Spivak, all right, at 16-3. Now, this is a tough one for me to pick, so I'm just not going to do it, all right? Dax, what say you?
Just no pick. This one was tough for me as well. I love Cyril Gane. I really do. I'm taking a chance on this one. I'm going to go with Spivak. Looking at how they both did against Lewis. Gane took 3 rounds to finish Lewis. Spivak subbed him in round 1. I just think at this point he may have stepped up his game, especially if he has been continuing to step up his game for this fight, which obviously he should have been. I think they exchange blows for the first 2 rounds, try and get it to the ground on both sides, and then I'm going to go with Spivak getting a takedown and then subbing him out round 2, probably end of round 2.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Trigger Joe, what say you?
I've got Gone, and I'll tell you why. The John Jones fight, there's no way that's sitting good with him. I can't stand this guy on the microphone, even though I'm actually just talked to somebody last week that trained at a gym that Gone had stopped by and said he's nicest guy in the world, will train with anybody, and any gym he goes to, they're rooting for him. He does. He appears to be a gentleman, but there's no way he can't have a chip on his shoulder after what happened with John Jones. He's got to be training and grappling. And Spivak is always one of those guys that is so dangerous because he can do both. Well, with Cyril Gane, you better can know how to do one thing, and that's get off your feet and get on the ground. He's not the guy you stand with. And so Spivak's, well-rounded game is kind of nullified because he's not going to strike with Cyril Gane. If he does, good luck. Let me know what the lights look like in that arena, because you'll be counting them when you wake up. I don't think he's powerful enough to get Gane to the ground. I think the mistakes that Gane made with John Jones to let him close that distance and put him on the mat are going to be something that he corrects enough to be strong enough, because he's a freaking specimen, to not let Spivak takedowns be effective. I think he's going to keep him off, and you're going to see that Tai Tuivasa please quit the fight body kick that we saw when he fought Tai. And I think that's going to put Spivak on the mat somewhere around, and Gane wins by strikes, TKO, 3rd round. But I think he gets it done with that body kick.
Yeah, I remember that. I actually remember that fight with Tui. That was it.
We were texting each other like, Tai Tuivasa, this needs to stop. This is like watching a crime.
Right. It's like it's going to be brain damage times 16,000. Like, it was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, the champ, Bill, what say you?
Ring the bell. That's verbatim what I was going to say. Gane's kicks.
I know what he's thinking.
That size.
Is that verbatim French? What's that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We'll go with French. Some would say Latin, but let's go with French.
I thought it was verbatitas.
He's for American.
but for a man his size, Gane's never been finished by KO. He got submitted by John Jones, which, by the way, is not a bad finish. It was kind of embarrassing. It showed him that he really needs to work on his ground game. However, being submitted by John Jones is not a bad thing. But he's also went the distance with Ngannou. Gane's got a chin, but he's also got some of the nastiest kicks from a 250-pound man that I've ever seen. And Joe put it best: those gut kicks to Tuivasa. Hats off to Tuivasa for taking him that long.
Yep.
I would have folded like a fucking lawn chair on 2 of those. So I got Gane wearing him down late in the 3rd round. I think Spivak is going to realize he's not going to put him to sleep early, because Gane's also got that chin for a heavyweight. So I got Cyril Gane by TKO in the 3rd round. I got it the same way. He's going to loosen him up with those kicks, and that's what's going to end up ending them early in the 3rd round, if not late in the 2nd round.
Yeah, if a 250-pound guy kicks at me that fast and doesn't hit me, I'm still tapping. Right?
It's
like, nope.
As soon as you see this past your face, I'm not
staying in the ring to find out what that feels like when it hits me.
Bill, I've seen people tap before when they were like, my God, he's going to kill me. I've seen Nick tap before when it's like, yeah, we're not doing this. Yeah. No, I'm not doing that.
That's against Marty. Cheers, Marty. Sometimes
before you get there. I'm talking about against Marty. He locked in a straight arm bar, and Nick was like, "Oh, you're not gonna do that? No, we're done."
I'm gonna go down to the interpreter.
Chris Martinez, if you're watching, which you aren't.
Yeah. He watches sometimes. But okay, all right, let's get to the best part of the show. All right, this is where we talk about the money. This is the only reason my brother's watching now. He must be losing in poker. He's got to find a different kind of revenue. So all right, let's stay with the champ. Bill, give us your locks, your parlays, and your DraftKings sleepers.
All right, my locks are Cyril Gahn, and the first fight of the night, a girl named Jacqueline Cavalcanti, and I actually got a third lock in there, Fareed Basharat.
It's over. All the same.
So going up from bottom to top, for a quick parlay, go Cavalcanti, Basharat. I actually like this Irish guy, Caelan Loughran. I'm butchering that Irish name. Then I'm going to jump up to I like the over on the Gomi Gamori fight, Saint Denis, and Cyril Gahn.
All right, and then did you give
my
us a
DraftKings sleeper will be Rose Namajunas, but I'm uneasy enough to not put that in a parlay.
All right, Trigger Joe. I heard it was the same locks as Bill.
We have no response. It's almost identical. Jack Fareed Basharat, Cyril Gahn. My DraftKings sleeper is actually in Bill's parlay, so very, very similar. I like Caelan Loughran. He's right now he's a plus 145, unless that's changed a little bit over Taylor Lapillus. These guys were both champions in their respective organizations, and Loughran came out very, very hot, flipping the crowd off. He's fighting a Frenchman. This is going to be a banger. It's the last fight of the prelims. I would suggest watching that one if anybody's up for that. So he's my DraftKings sleeper. However, I'm going to leave it out of my parlay just because Lapillus is no joke. Could go either way. Parlay is Jacqueline Cavalcanti, Fareed Basharat. Then I like Gomez by decision, or you could take it Bill's way, which is over. So I like him to win, and I like the fight to go to the distance. Saint Denis, and I actually, man, if you want to sprinkle it in and make some money, take Saint Denis by submission, because they're going to pay. That's going to be a plus 300, plus 400, and it's very likely could happen. And then I like Cyril Gahn, and I like him to finish as well. So whatever gambling site you're on, obviously they're going to pay more for a finish. Yeah, I'm putting him in as double chance just because I've seen him do an arm triangle. He knows how to sub people. And I just think Spivak is very good. I don't think he's great.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I think that's a 6 fighter. I wasn't counting them.
And
might be a 7, but
the latest from BetMGM has Caelan at a plus 140.
Nice.
Yeah, and nice. Man, this kid's got that Irish dog in him. Like,
yeah.
I'll die in there, bro. Watch this. Hold my beer. Like and he's jacked, and he's a boxer. He likes going to the body. And these two guys, they're gonna bang. So could get you a lot of money on DraftKings, because I think if he wins by knockout.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I was in a film called Paid to Finish. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but 2 o'clock.
I did.
Yeah. So
all right. Well, I mean, speaking of your film career, wasn't Zucchini Strike one of them as well?
Zucchini Strike West. So I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Zucchini Strike 4.
God damn it.
But all right, hey, Cyborg,
the return to Vegas.
Yeah, Dave Faceman said he saw it, so for sure.
Daniel Dorman just called Joe discount Andrew Tate.
Discount
I saw
Andrew
that.
Tate. That's awesome.
Ouch. I've got a Bugatti.
Yeah. Hey, Cyborg, did you come up with a parlay and some locks?
Yeah, I came up with just a little bit. Honestly, this week has been a shit show and a half, so I haven't had a ton of time to research everybody. But obviously, Basharat's on my list. He's friggin' amazing. I don't see him losing. Cavalcanti, from what I've seen of her, I love her so much that I'm putting her on a parlay. And then Gomez and SD. Honestly, I know I picked a lot of underdogs here, but it was like tentative. Like I could see where this might happen. So I don't actually have a sleeper this time that I'm actually going to bet on. And Boshrot's going to be my big lock, honestly.
All right, well, hey, put $5 on your upset parlay. You never know. $5 probably pays like $110. You know, give it a shot.
It's
okay,
happen.
well, that's about all we have for tonight's fight show. So for the three of you that were watching, we appreciate it. And again, you got to help out Veteran Trash Talk and Gruntworks during political time, because I noticed Gruntworks was posting political posts. Yeah, we're fucked. All right, we're going to be at the bottom of the algorithm, and Facebook is not going to share our shit until after November. And then we'll go about 3 good months, and then the actual election will come around, and we'll be in that extremist algorithm again, and they ain't showing nothing. But hey, I do got to brag a little bit about the community and about those of you who are helping. We did a live show a couple weeks ago for Task Force Lahaina. And, we didn't really know what we were starting or what we were going to do. But literally within a week, people on our signal channel with Task Force Lahaina had connections with C-130s and helicopters dropping stuff off to our point man on the ground. So it was, getting through all the red tape and not worrying about the government and going and getting help to the people of Lahaina and the first responders that they needed. So big shout out to, again, Scott Mann and Ben Owen, Soldier of Fortune, Miss Keating, and a bunch of other people on that signal that probably want to remain anonymous that are just absolutely crushing it over there. And right now, Ben Owen, if you're following him on Facebook, is over there, and he's dispelling all the rumors that you see on the news and the conspiracies, because the conspiracies would just kill the relief efforts, because people won't donate because they're watching a news channel that's using AI and making up fake pictures. So he has been driving around the island showing you actual pictures, so that so just follow Ben Owen's page if you're curious about Maui and what's actually going on over there, because he's over there on the ground making it happen. But that's my little brag there. It sucks what happened to that island. I took my kids and my family to Lahaina 2 times for Christmas, and so it's a shame to see what's happened to it. And hopefully we get that that relief going as fast as we can. All right, Bill, as always, the last word.
Again, GoStarTeenAdventures.org. Please go to that website. All money goes towards helping Go Star kids. Again, it used to just be Go Star kids of our service members, but he's opened it up to first responders, especially with GWAT ending. So please go to the website. It brings all the Go Star kids together and reminds the kids that they're not alone. We have not forgotten about them. They take them on camping trips, scuba trips, deep sea fishing, anything you can think of, just to get these kids together. Remember, they are not alone. GoStarTeenAdventures.org.
Very awesome. Hey, no trash talk hour tomorrow because we take the holiday weekends off. So we will see you guys again next week, which is a big week because the NFL's starting. And enjoy your college football this weekend. And it's going to be so much fun. So much fun with the NFL coming back. I don't think we have a weekend without football for the next 4.5 months, 5 months. So pretty much set.
Oh yeah.
Set for life.
I'll be at the big house tomorrow.
Nice.
Football,
all right. So we will see you guys next week.